So, Tim Dillon just went nuclear on Meghan Markle. And let me tell you, he didn't hold back. He flat out called Harry and Meghan garden variety idiots, mocked her jam empire as a watery scam, and shredded that staged car chase in New York, the one they tried to pass off like a modern-day Princess Diana tragedy. Dillon said it looked like they were literally trying to simulate Diana's death for clout. And the wild part? He wasn't joking. And that's exactly where we're starting tonight. Because Dillon's rant? That was the crack in the dam. Since then, Hollywood insiders, late-night comedians, and even other royals have piled on. What was once whispers in the corners of LA parties is now spilling into the open. Meghan Markle has become a punchline, and not the kind you recover from. Before we dig in, smash that like button, subscribe if you're new, and drop your take in the comments. Is Meghan Markle calculated or clueless? Because by the end of this breakdown, you're going to have an opinion, trust me. Now, let's go deeper. Imagine you're at a Hollywood party, champagne flowing, A-listers everywhere. Instead of gossiping about new films or deals, people are laughing at texts, screenshots of Meghan Markle begging people to hang out with her. This isn't speculation. Multiple insiders at these parties have described it the same way. Phones get passed around like party favours. And there it is. Meghan Markle, the Duchess who once sneered at the royal family, now reduced to sending desperate, let's hang out texts that no one wants to answer. People at those events literally said, we've had enough. And not just randoms. These were people who tried to accommodate her. They played along at first, out of politeness, out of respect for Harry's mother's legacy, maybe even out of curiosity. But now, they're done. And here's the brutal truth. Meghan doesn't have friends. She has stepping stones. Every relationship she cultivates is transactional. She doesn't connect with people. She calculates what she can get from them. And when the well dries up, she moves on. That's not friendship. That's exploitation dressed in designer outfits. Think about it. The moment they landed in America, they didn't unpack bags, they unpacked contracts. They went straight to Netflix, Spotify, Oprah. They monetized trauma before the ink on their independence was even dry. And for a while, the public bought it. Poor Harry and Meghan, victims of a cruel monarchy. Brave exiles telling their truth. But here's the problem. You can only cry wolf so many times before people notice you're selling wolf tickets. Bill Maher said it best. If Meghan had taken notes from the late Queen Elizabeth, never complain, never explain, she might have kept her dignity. But instead, she turned royal exile into reality TV. She and Harry claimed they wanted privacy, then cashed million-dollar checks for multi-part documentaries about their lack of privacy. That contradiction, it's what cracked their entire narrative. Picture this. Meghan on camera, tears staged, background perfectly curated, telling us how hard her life is. From inside a Montecito mansion worth tens of millions. That disconnect became comedy gold. Late-night hosts had a field day. Conan O'Brien mocked her jam. Ryan Reynolds roasted her lifestyle branding. And let's be honest, when comedians like that make you their punchline, your brand is officially toast. Because here's the thing about Meghan's jam empire. It's not about jam. It's about selling fantasy. She doesn't care if it's watery, overpriced nonsense. She cares that buying it makes people feel like they're living a piece of her curated Duchess life. Except the illusion shattered. People aren't buying fantasy anymore. They're laughing at it. And the arrogance, it's staggering. Tim Dillon nailed it when he said Meghan sees us all as pigs in the mud while she sprinkles honey and jam like she's some enlightened saviour. She's not selling food. She's selling superiority. and Hollywood has called her bluff. Then there's the car chase. That infamous night in New York when Harry and Meghan claimed paparazzi chased them for 2 hours. Except the taxi driver who drove them went public and said the whole thing was exaggerated. Not dangerous, he said, just routine traffic. The more you dig, the more it looks like a staged reenactment of Diana's tragedy. A deliberate, manipulative PR stunt meant to tap into Harry's deepest trauma and weaponize it for sympathy. That's not just tone deaf, that's sociopathic. And speaking of Harry, let's not let him off the hook. He's become the ghost of his former self. Once the cheeky, rebellious prince, now the man who can't even speak without Meghan pulling the strings. Tim Dillon's parody nailed it. Meghan plays the domestic guru while Harry wanders around lost, cut off from his family, his country, and his identity. You can almost picture him standing in the kitchen, wondering how it all went so wrong, while Meghan tells the cameras about organic vegetables and artisanal honey. The tragic irony? The monarchy has survived wars, scandals, abdications. But Meghan Markle managed to do what few could. She cracked its foundations, not through power, but through pettiness, through monetizing drama, through turning one of the world's oldest institutions into an off-brand reality show. And yet, they still demand the world bend the knee to their nonsense. That's what grates the most. Not just the contradictions, not just the privilege complaints. It's the insistence that we all take them seriously, that their truth is the only truth, that their fragility is everyone else's burden. But here's the thing, more and more people are refusing to play along. Bill Maher said it outright. He won't bend the knee to their fragility. John Oliver, usually diplomatic, admitted they'll never change because they lack the capacity for self-reflection. When even comedians, who usually avoid hard stances on individuals, are writing you off, you're done. And that brings us to the biggest reveal. Meghan and Harry aren't royals anymore. They're not activists. They're not even entrepreneurs. They're reality stars. That's the role they've chosen, whether they admit it or not. Drama, conflict, victimhood, it's their brand now. And like every reality star before them, the same cycle applies. The bigger the drama, the faster the downfall. So, let me throw this question to you. Do you think Meghan truly believes her own narrative? Is she delusional enough to think this victim act will keep working forever? Or is it all just a calculated scheme? A cynical play to squeeze every last drop of relevance before the curtain falls? Because here's what I think. She knows exactly what she's doing. Every staged car chase, every overpriced jar of jam, every crocodile tear in front of a Netflix camera. It's all about clinging to relevance. And Harry? Deep down, he probably knows he's made the biggest mistake of his life. But he's in too deep. He can't go back. Not to his family, not to the monarchy, not to the man he used to be. This is the part where you come in. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Harry and Meghan are beyond saving? Or could there ever be a redemption arc? And if you were the royal family, would you even take him back at this point? Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe for more brutally honest breakdowns, and share this video with someone who still thinks Meghan's jam is worth a dime. Because at the end of the day, Meghan Markle wanted to be the Queen of Hearts. Instead, she's become the Queen of Punchlines. And honestly, they did it to themselves.